Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Not For Broadcast. Episode 2 of this game is finally out. Before I get into it, I just want to say apparently there's been some changes in some balance-wise and some decision-wise to first episode. I feel like I don't want to replay it because I remember mostly what happened, and I'm sure you guys do too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue on to where we left off from. And maybe one day I could replay as maybe like someone that's compliant with the party, or maybe like someone that's in neutral ground. Because if you remember, in the first episode I was pretty much trying to bring down the current government type of person. So, you know, a bit of an upstart. So I'll do the upstart playthrough once, and then maybe I'll go back into a whole new playthrough to see all the stuff that's new in the previous episodes. As maybe, like I said, compliant, neutral. What do you guys think? Give me some ideas. So yeah, once you guys do that, I'll definitely think about what I should play as in the next playthroughs. Alright, so let's continue on to episode 2. If you remember last time, I think it ended with us getting struck by lightning. Day 154, a rude awakening. Yeah, that was quite an accident. The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you're greeted by a semi-circle of concerned faces. Your family by your side, a reassuringly familiar sight in these new surroundings. You blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone to focus. Hang on, I'm gonna move my face here. There we go. Looking up, Sam's face is a mixture of frustration and concern. Things haven't been great between you two lately, and although they're clearly worried about you, the looks you're getting are still sour. You reach out to Sam to take their hand and you roll your eyes even now Sam can't get over themselves. Well, I'm gonna try to be nice. Let's not screw up our marriage. You know. The worry lines on Sam's forehead fade, and they smile as they gratefully take your hand. You feel the tension of the past few months start to ease. You've both got enough to be anxious about without being at each other's throats. With a final smile at them, you turn to the rest of your family. Just as you feel Susie's absence, you notice Charlie fidgeting, clearly trying not to look worried. If you remember, Charlie was trying to get into these party, youth groups, and all that stuff. We didn't want him to do that. As soon as you turn to look at him, you can see Charlie tense up. He's clearly battling hard to stay mad at you. You look expectantly at him, but he refuses to meet your gaze. Well, I mean, come on, he's our son. Charlie looks at you and grins, one of those infectious smiles that spreads around the room. It's always good to have him in your corner. Your smile fades as you notice your mother staring listlessly out the window. Despite all your best efforts, she's not been doing well lately. Are you okay, Mom? Your mother starts, your call clearly shocking her out of her reverie. She turns to you and smiles, and you're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling? You smile warmly and nod. But before you can respond, a doctor bustles in and ushers everyone out. She asks you, for what feels like the 100th time, how you're feeling. Surprisingly well, all things considered. Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage. Just a bit of a shock to the old system, pardon the pun. She smiles. Not that we recommend you do anything like that again, of course. After a couple of days rest at home, you should feel right as rain. She turns to leave, but stops at the door. Oh, and the private room and care, the doctor gestures to your room, which you now notice looks rather expensive, has all been paid for by a Mr. Bozeman. He left those flowers and said not to worry and to take the rest of the week off. He'll see you Monday, apparently. Seems like the least he could do. I know. Right? And there we go. Yeah, we've taken a lot of time off there. A burden to bear. You come home from a particularly late shift to find the kitchen light still on, which isn't normally a good sign. Everyone's usually in bed by now. Softly opening the kitchen door, you find Sam sat at the table. Bills and papers are strewn in front of them, as well as what looks to be their second pack of biscuits. They give you a quick kiss as you take a next seat to them. Sam frowns and goes back to the bill they're holding. Hey, sweetheart. Just looking at the numbers again. They look to the door to the pantry, now converted into your mother's bedroom. We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now. Suddenly, the bills are all you can see. Holy shit, wow. That's bad. I've been staring at the numbers all night. Tears in their eyes. Sam takes your hand. There's just no way we can afford it. I'm so sorry. The kitchen table swims before you. Sam stands up and pulls you into their firm embrace, but all you can think of is your mother, and how you can't afford to help her. What would your dad be thinking now? Is this the Utopia Advance promise? You stare at the door to your mother's makeshift room. Tomorrow, you'll need to tell the kids, and then book an appointment at the transition center. What else could you have done? Man, that's... I'm skipping over a lot of days. Oh well. A letter home. Sam's out at work tonight, and Charlie's staying at a friend's. The house is yours. You order a takeaway, have a couple of drinks, and decide to relax in front of the TV. Not a great selection tonight, but surely something to watch. You feel like a laugh. Horror. You know what? Let's go with horror, man. Yeah. Why not? The atmosphere sure feels horror game-ish right now. I mean, come on. Look at the dark. The atmosphere and story are better than you were expecting, making you jump more than once. After a particularly shocking emergence of the lolling lumberer, you accidentally kick the coffee table, revealing a small object hidden behind one of the legs. As you bend down and reach for it, you recall the note Sam left on the fridge. Hey, sweetheart, Charlotte lost Susie's present. Would you mind looking in for it tonight? X. As you hold it closer, you're surprised to find the gift's actually an engraved lighter for Chippy. She claims the nickname is affectionate, but Charlie still scowls every time she says it. You're not sure Sam would approve. The accompanying note from Susie explains, Urkistan has a long tradition of glorifying the art of starting fires. Thought you'd like it. Don't do anything stupid, Sus. Hopefully it's just a souvenir and not a new pastime he's picked up. Or about to pick up. Alright. Day 2. Oh. We haven't worked in a while. Not that I'm complaining. I think we're about to do a broadcast now. Apparently there are 3 new ones. And I mostly remember how to play it. Contains like episodes like Lockdown and what was the other one? I forgot. The Telethon, yeah, the Telethon. Yeah, those are fun. Thanks to them, I still kinda, you know, had my practice for a little while, but yeah. Alright, here we go. We should perhaps load our Edwards. Check power. Oh, alright. Shit. Forgot about those.
Get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound...
I mean it, Kath.
Something's going on there.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy. Or yours.
It'll be alright. I'll talk to Buxton.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week.
I don't know what's going on there.
Jenny?
Why can't I put this in? Oh, it's busted. Oh, because of the accident.
Letting it go
Shit.
in your head.
She nearly blinded
It's gonna
me.
suck.
10 seconds,
I thought we were
everybody.
all part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Sorry,
high and
5,
mighty and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me.
Oh, look, people are going by. That's new.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
What do you think about all these sanctions?
I doubt it make a lot of difference, Pet.
Oh, I like this new
I've
feature.
lived through 2 world wars and I smoke 40 a day. And if that ain't killed me, I doubt this will either.
Right.
Patrick, fascinating stuff.
Yep.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We
Oh,
are a
interference.
democratically
Shit.
elected government with massive popular support.
Oh, this is
We
new.
do not recognise these sanctions. And we encourage other socially
What is this?
progressive nations of the world to
This
both
button.
resist and ignore
Oh.
them.
Oh, shit. I don't know what to...
Have struck fear into the heart of the international community.
Ah. Oh, God.
Showing that it
This is
possible
bad,
to
dude.
have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve
Oh,
our
God.
countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of
sake.
others to thrive. This country
I
is
hate this.
entirely self-sufficient.
I don't like this new part.
We are a team,
There we go.
now more than ever.
I don't like this new interference. God. Oh, God. Alright. Well, I think I kind of know how it goes now. I'll do better. I'm gonna
The
put
sanctions, which are broad-ranging,
this.
include
Oh, no,
restrictions
that's
on the
this.
supply of oil and
I
gas,
think
food,
this is like
clothing,
approving the
and even
sanctions?
some medicines.
I hope.
But how should we react? We asked the public.
So how do you feel about the sanctions?
I actually think that with Advance in charge we'll be fine.
Oh, no.
Of
Shit.
course the rest of the world will want
It's
to
kind of
fail,
misleading.
or it'll be their billionaires next. But I trust Julia and Peter.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Here we go.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous.
I don't like this.
We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions. And we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team,
Could we please
now
stop?
more than ever. And this team is on your side.
Is that... Oh, God.
Defiant stuff.
That
But what
annoys
do you,
me.
the public, think of our government's stance?
Alright, this is
Robin
done.
Short found out.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think
Angry.
of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks, punishing success and rewarding laziness? They're taking this country down the bloody Swanee.
I like this
No,
guy.
I don't think so. My wife Iris, she agreed.
Maybe she...
A
I don't think she
whole lot
does.
of protests were held today at the controversial construction site for Remington Smith's physics-defying MOVES project. Since digging straight through the
Oh,
earth
that's the
began
commercial,
6
I bet.
months ago, the project
I
has
wonder
been
if that was a
beset
good
by
idea.
problems, including localized tremors and the heat deaths of many of the workforce.
Residents of the nearby town of Calamity today converged on the construction site with sincere, if misspelt, placards, demanding a suspension of digging until safety checks can be carried out.
Of course, that's half a world away.
I don't... If
But
it's
what does
positive
this
for the
country
crowd,
think?
positive for moves, I don't know.
How do you feel about the MOVES project?
Oh my god, I love Sophia Remington. Imagine a tunnel straight through
Yeah,
the
this is a
planet.
little misleading.
It's the sort of big idea we need. Oh, she's a visionary.
A momentary lapse of reason? Commuters across the capital found themselves somewhat bemused by the latest stunt by controversial protest group Disrupt.
In a baffling start to the day,
Wait.
commuters found performers outside every major station, all dressed and posed identically. Whether we're supposed to be amused or intimidated is anybody's guess, Jeremy, but most commuters didn't even stop to notice.
Well, as long as it's not some grand contemporary dance, it's probably harmless.
But how do we all feel about Disrupt and their eclectic tactics?
Okay.
Robin found out.
How do you feel about Disrupt?
Oh, well, now you're talking. Bloody hero, showing us not to take it lying down like Iris here.
So you both feel they're a cause worth supporting?
Well, Iris doesn't speak online, but we're pretty sure there's still one in there, aren't we, love? Wherever it is, it loves Disrupt, fighting the Oiks for our freedom. And what could possibly be wrong with that?
Do you need me to get you some help?
Yeah, blink
Injury
twice.
time. Fierce rival doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborg and Horgensford today sent a joint statement to the service appealing for an urgent shipment of supplies.
After breaking into two warring factions, things seem to have gone from bad to worse for the ill-fated expedition. They look like they could really use some supplies, Jeremy.
Or possibly a peace negotiator.
But with the pair arguably being their own worst enemies, how should we feel about sending them the resources they need to carry on? Patrick Bannon found out.
How do you feel about sending supplies?
No fucking way. Let them kill each other. Maybe they'll learn something. Work with more kids.
Okay, I'm starting to get this now. I'm good. I just have to wait till like the question is asked to understand who I'm actually feeling positive or negative for. Makes sense. Alright, I'm the dumbass. I'm learning it. There's a lot of different stuff in episode 2 actually. This is kind of cool.
Cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks, and, rightly, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
That all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
Absolutely bloody not. It's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it, Iris? First it's, can I see your identification, sir? And then it's, would you mind bending over the table, sir? So Sergeant State Educated and Constable Regional Accent here can stick their truncheon up your derriere.
Oh, crikey!
They should call them what they are. They're bloody ID cards. Oh, for Christ's sake, what is it, Iris?
Oh, I'm really not happy, Algernon! I'm so sorry. Crikey.
That's all she can
And
say
finally
right
tonight,
now.
getting stuck in a shameless attempt to cash in on his bad boy status, Shame celebrity Johnny Hamsleeves announced a new line of real ale at a press conference earlier today.
The new brew, entitled Headbutt Ale in reference to his controversies of last year, promises a night you'll pretend you regret.
Or possibly a night you'll pretend you remember.
So what should we all think of Johnny's latest attempt to market his notoriety? Patrick?
Oh my god, fantastic!
Wise words there.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zust. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm.
Is that...
Again.
Oh no, that's not...
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
There we go. Oh, fuck, the interference again. Shit. How long do I have? 5 minutes till the advertisements. Alright. Stretch it out. Too much. And, okay, I'm starting to get the hang of it. Kinda. Nice.
First
There we
tonight,
go.
thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. To advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Now, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard of labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country...
I had to capture a reaction.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he has a big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, and we have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, like, voting, yeah, but it's actually the Festival of Furelands here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, like, we all had to work our grandparents' Galicia whilst the vote was happening, and that's, like, a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like a sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man? It's like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis. But actually, he just
What's up with this dude and his tiny penises?
Oh, could it be? No, his tiny penis!
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate!
Good, they can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenblad, we have, like, serious animal welfare legislation. And, like, my friend Helge, she got arrested, yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her teal thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker, too. Wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
Human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jam, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Crash, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vein. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenblad, we don't really go into all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and
possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Björk?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated devices, concepts like money. In Svenland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like a real...
that is disgusting.
Thank you, Minister Potovich.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant mutant hairy bear. When really, he's just standing in field
holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shag pie without blocking a few toilets.
I just wanted to do that. I just wanted to censor.
We'll be back
after these messages.
1 minute back.
I know that,
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
I know that probably got me some penalty, but whatever. I think it was worth it.
She's out of your league, mate.
So that's the... Oh, sports board. Segment baby. Yeah, I know. That sucked. Didn't I used to have like a...
New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring.
Oh.
Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Catch the egg! Name that fish!
So government censorship, yeah. How about I don't do that? Yeah, I'm not gonna censor anybody for the sake of the government. We're an upstart.
That's right! We win your kids!
What is gonna happen here?
The pound principle.
Forget those
Megan.
games! This Sport game is the only game your family is gonna want to play.
thanks for having me.
It's quite alright.
What is that woman doing to the board game?
Going in 5.
What did this board game do to her? She's smashing it.
Welcome back, I'm Megan Wolf.
Welcome
Later,
back,
we have an
I'm Megan
exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus!
Jeremy is riveting right now.
Thanks, Jeremy.
He's really excited
to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
Look at Jeremy's face.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so...
Oh, there was a blue way.
Well, you know, they stole from us.
That was
taking
red,
our
though.
money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah. Nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah. I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing. And I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children?
Look at Jerry.
What is it you're trying to say?
That you're an asshole.
I don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it?
Excellent!
Yeah, he's going to love it.
State-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song.
Alright, I'm gonna try to
It's
see.
Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up.
I don't think I censored the blue last time. I really hope I didn't. What is right
We're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel the elation from your participation.
I couldn't get this right last time. Like,
in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned. Talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit. It's time to stone the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork.
I'm trying my best to not go on into the blue,
so this is for the snub,
but it's kind of hard.
Wants the folks to feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones who had plenty like a motherfucking.
And not to mention, like, the whole line blends to the red, and then it becomes a little weird.
Who had to flee a nation.
Thankfully, there's no interference of that.
Dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil.
It's like there's a certain combo to it.
All equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the press of the ways, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to fall apart with a motherfucking.
I need to pay attention to this.
Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, no squilling bed letters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take his fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone the castle with the motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team, and advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt.
So you have to pay attention to, like, combo and also, like, the lines at the same time. I did not listen to one word of it. I was paying attention to this thing the whole time.
Jay's us there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I might not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Commercials. Now it's mobs.
Hi, I'm multi-billionaire Sophia Remington.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I compare?
Recently, I put an idea to my science class, and they said it couldn't be done.
I didn't really sound that much, except the cuss words, which I kind of have to, or you kind of lose the game.
At Remington,
this is
have
unbelievable,
come up with a solution to a problem all globe hoppers share.
Don't worry, Jeremy, I got your back.
Just a reminder, using that old VCR. When a new tape, how's that break?
I know what you mean, Brad. It takes so long and it can be pretty scary.
Well, let's face it, it's pretty inefficient here.
Right.
Going all the way around the planet.
Really don't.
There has to be a better way.
Don't worry, young professional.
Oh, say no more. Say
Why go round our beat?
What is
We can go straight
this dude?
Algebra, Imagine a system of mass transit elevators running through the center of the Earth. Now you're thinking.
again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
My mobile orientation operational burrowing service will change the way you travel and
dig into the
construction
core
has already
thing.
begun. I'm Sophia Remington. And when they tell me it can't be done, I make it happen even faster.
5, 4, 3.
So can I just...
Welcome back. And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Rayton, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a very good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see. He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
After the success...
I love Jeremy, man. He's my favorite character.
I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy.
The guy's a great actor. Whoever's playing Jeremy. Huge props.
I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to her.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my hands.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Sorry,
the way he just delivered that line.
About?
It was absolutely gold.
Some of the struggles that I've faced.
It was Oscar-worthy gold, the way he delivered.
I call it Tommy Harris.
Oh, man.
Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
What is that, Gandalf?
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable.
I don't want to say shit.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yeah. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
You'll never take the sacred cross!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, He's actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
What the hell?
Goodness, you do this every night.
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Yeah.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt, you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Dillon.
What?
And I'm Megan Wolf. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Ew.
Oh.
Broadcast complete. Hang on, I want to do a commercial.
Furniture with some garden furniture next to it on the garden next to the patio.
I actually got it made. That's not bad.
Like a cello. Garden furniture that looks like a car. Garden furniture that looks like garden furniture. Come on down.
Garden furniture that looks like garden furniture. Next generation shit right there.
We've got sacks. We've got garden plants. We've got garden ponds. We've got fronds. If you want to
Does he have horns?
take it away in a wheelbarrow. You want it? We've got it. We've got
Why do you put horns on himself?
We've got fire pits. We've got a whole mess of crazy frogs with water coming out of their mouths. This is a crazy
Why are there?
from a crazy midsummer meal. No from home, home from home. We got more than 7 gnomes because we've got men with trombones. We've got reclining giants. We've got crazy garden gnomes with glasses. What's all that about? If you've got a loved one and you want them buried in your back garden, come on down to Crazy Neil because we've got a headstone for you. And guess what? It's 50% off engraving. I'm not even making a profit. I'm making a loss. Get on out to the Crazy Neil Deal Summer Deal Show. Yeah!
Okay. Alright. Broadcast report. Yay. Grade C. I guess. That's terrible. Some rules. Wow, I can barely read that. Advance angered by content. Good! We're doing an upstart. So, you received your full wages. Current health broke as 4. Shit. Oh, technically not negative. Hooray. I mean... That's better? The world. So, Defiance is up. That's good. Advanced power is going down. What is this? Charisma? Or something? Oh, channel 1. I think that says channel 1 and people are hating it. Oops. Alright. So, I'm gonna stop it here, guys. I'm liking it so far. It took me some time to get used to the new changes. At first, I was a little iffy about it, but I think I can roll with it. Yes. I think I'm kind of used to it now, and I feel better about it. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next one.